Something that's really, really important and is brand new, hot off the press literature is that glucagon is critical for insulin sensitivity. Critical for insulin sensitivity. Barry Sears, in writing The Zone, he said that we need a balance of insulin and glucagon, which was true. Unbeknownst to him, there was another deeper element to this, and what we're finding is that you need significant amounts of glucagon to be released consistently. In other words, eating it, protein at every meal to normalize your insulin levels. And a critical point that I forgot to mention before, this isn't just any old protein. It needs to be a dense protein source. So you need to find something that was living and had a face and a soul. So you kill it, bring its essence into your person. So what I call third world proteins do not count in this situation. Beans and rice. This is where when people get geeked out on doing their zone proportions, they start looking at the protein in almonds. You can't count that stuff. It does not count. It needs to be a free protein source that elicits a glucagon response. And like if you're going to do a vegetarian source, it needs to be like tofu or tempeh or something that's broken down and all the fibers and removed from the protein source. Otherwise, it will not release this glucagon response. And this is part of the reason why you have somebody doing more of a vegetarian sort of shtick. It is hard as hell to affect body composition shifts because they are high insulin level shift because of the nature of their diet, and then they never get a counter-regulatory release of glucagon. You guys see that? We're overwhelmed with insulin, and we're not sending the other signal with the counter hormone to say, hey, we can be insulin sensitive again. Yeah?
So you're saying that, where a white protein would work?
No, it totally will. That's a dense protein source. Okay, fine. You're not killing anything necessarily. Yeah.
I was going to ask about the whey proteins as well.
Yeah. Those things have some interesting characteristics. So, like dairy releases glucagon, but it actually releases more insulin than glucagon. If you remember earlier, I said protein releases some insulin. There are some proteins that release a lot of insulin. So if we have somebody who's stalled in their fat loss, and a lot of times we'll have like a female client where she's doing a weight measured zone sort of deal, and she's not making progress, and I look at it, and a whole boatload of her protein is coming from like cheese. Then I switch that out to whole protein sources, fish, chicken, eggs, something like that, and then all of a sudden she starts losing body fat because that dairy does release